Hello and welcome to this week's Niall Fraser Show, the 8th of August 2024. And what a show we've got lined up for you. Hide and seek with the far right. This week we'll be talking at Two-Tier-Keir and the tale of two riots. Is the media fanning the flames of the riot? That's the question we're going to be asking tonight. And is Scotland being left out of riot season? But first, the monologue and the intro music. Hello and welcome to Riot season, ladies and gentlemen. Wrong one. It's the wrong one. It's the wrong one. That's the one for yesterday. They say a week is a long time in politics. Well, that seems very, very accurate because it feels like it's been an entire election cycle in the space of just a week with Labour at the helm. Labour and Keir Starmer have doubled down on their two-tier policing policy, and I'm not even sure it's entirely accurate to say that it's two-tier policing. It's more accurate to call it anti-white policing. He's lightning fast to condemn groups of white people causing disturbances, but then is silent as a mime when it comes to criticising large groups of Muslims carrying and brandishing deadly weapons like machetes and swords. But why? Why does he need the police to be anti-white? Because it's white people who are the ultimate victims in all this. It's our land, our towns, our villages that are being taken over and invaded with the help of the government. Right across the UK and Europe, migrants from all over Africa are being strategically placed in hotels. They're no asylum seekers. They're no fleeing any conflicts. They're economic scavengers here to rape and pillage as much as humanly possible. The Scottish always bang on about the Vikings, invading their shores, raping and pillaging their way across the land. Well, this is the modern day equivalent, except we are placing these neo-Vikings in posh luxury accommodation, thanking them for being here. You might think I'm being hyperbolic, but this is exactly what the migrant mobs have done in Rotherham. They've raped thousands of girls and taken as much benefits as they can get their greedy hands on. At one point in this industrial raping of British children, we even had a Labour MP, Naz Shah, liking and retweeting a comment on Twitter that said, abused girls in Rotherham and elsewhere need to shut their mouths for the sake of diversity, for the good of diversity. You see, you have to turn a blind eye to the raping of these children by these neo-Vikings for the sake of diversity. The sake of diversity, ladies and gentlemen. What does that even mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means anti-white. So let me reconstruct the sentence for you. Abused girls in Rotherham and elsewhere need to shut their mouths for the good of conquering the white race. Don't you see, ladies and gentlemen, the war against white people has been going on for a long time now. And you'll notice that the Labour Party have always been on the cutting edge of being anti-white. So why would we? Why should we expect anything else except anti-white policing coming into force immediately when Labour take the baton from the Tories? You know, the United Kingdom have not quietly become a police state, but in fact loudly become a police state. With Elon Musk's comments the other day saying that civil war is inevitable here in the UK, that'll suit Keir Starmer. That'll suit his government. Because for Keir Starmer and his puppeteers, the phrase civil war is much, much better than the word revolution. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's the monologue for this week. And we'll be delving into Elon Musk's claim that the UK civil war is inevitable. We'll be looking at that story. That was Tuesday's paper. But first, the credits. No, the credits. The intro music. You know it. You love it. Let's go. just never, ever, ever fails to get me in the mood, that song. Welcome to the Niall Fraser Show, ladies and gentlemen. We're at almost 200 viewers and we've just done the intro. This is incredible. But I would advise you not to share this broadcast because something came out tonight. Look at this. Ooh. Your actions online have consequences. Think before you post. I think you've had a little too much to think, ladies and gentlemen. Right, let's bust into the first story. Hide and seek with the far right this week. Two-Tier-Keir. What an incredible nickname that is. Two-Tier-Keir and the tale of two riots. That's what I'm calling it this week. So let's start with the big story. A couple of days ago on Tuesday, Elon Musk claimed the UK civil war is inevitable. Inevitable. Let's read through the story, shall we? Billionaire in row with the PM over riots as tech firms are accused of giving hate a platform. Well, we'll dive into that. Sir Keir Starmer and Elon Musk were last night embroiled in a war of words over the race riots raging in Britain. Downing Street rebuked the owner of X, formerly Twitter, for using his platform to claim that civil war is inevitable. The Prime Minister's spokesman said there is no justification for comments like that. A few hours later, Mr. Musk, the richest man in the world, worth more than $200 billion, ladies and gentlemen, criticised Sir Keir Starmer directly by responding to a video posted by the PM stressing attacks on mosques and Muslims would not be tolerated. Mr. Musk, who had 193 million global followers, replied asking Sir Keir, shouldn't you be concerned about attacks on all communities? That's a great question, Elon. That's the question we all want answered. But no, it's Two-Tier-Keir. We already know the answer to this. The clash came as cabinet ministers blamed social media for allowing hate and fake news to be spread, leading to violent protests by the far right that seen migrant hotels and mosques attacked in the wake of the Southport stabbings a week ago. Last night, hundreds of far-right activists and anti-racist protesters came face-to-face in Plymouth. Oh my God. Where beer bottles, flares, and a crutch were flung through the air, leaving police officers injured. So somebody's limping home from the riot, missing a crutch. And in Birmingham, a Sky News TV news van was attacked by a knife-wielding man after members of the Muslim community gathered amid claims far-right groups would target the Small Heath area. Police have also been warned of alleged plans of far-right groups to hit dozens of immigration targets across Britain on Wednesday night. And here we are. Wednesday night was last night. Was there any riots last night? Was there anything? Oh. Is it all a big ruse, ladies and gentlemen? Get your comments in. Is this a ruse? Are we all being played here, ladies and gentlemen? Are we all being subjected to some form of psyop? Nick Knowles of Hope Not Hate, the what would you call it? The MI5, MI6 online dissident gatherer. You know, they're just gathering right-wing dissidents and banning them. You know, I've appeared on this list, the Hope Not Hate list. We'll bring this up later on in the show, just for a laugh. But here he is. Yes, the list was a hoax. But just look at the front pages of today's papers. An anti-racist message is being transmitted to millions of homes this morning. So here, Nick, doesn't he care if putting all these messages out saying that far right are going to attack here, far right are going to attack there. Where are they? Oh, where are they? They're playing hide and seek, ladies and gentlemen. Someone is playing a very dangerous game here. And it's like, You know, the police are like, we're warning people this weekend, do not, we are ready. We're ready for riots if they happen. And then they're telling people, oh, yes, the Muslim mob, they're like, the far right are coming this weekend. This weekend, get yourself ready. And they're telling, you know, they're actually, you know, they're, what's the word I'm looking for? They are absolutely cruising for a fight. They want a fight. They're saying, get ready, let's just have a big bash. Let's just have a big bash up. That's what it feels like is happening. And they want people to have a huge big riot. They want it to happen so they can come down like an iron fist again. On one side, Two-Tier-Keir. Anyway, let's look at some of the riot footage, shall we? It gives me no satisfaction. No satisfaction at all.
I'm joined by Matthew Thompson now to talk through this. So, Matthew, the last point there is crucial, isn't it? Some people might be sharing simply to warn their friends, but it could be considered an offence because they're amplifying this.
Absolutely, and that's the key message, is that however you think you're acting innocently on social media, whatever platform it is, you're just sharing something for whatever reason, that could potentially be a criminal offence. And look, it's not an idle threat either, because the Crown Prosecution Service were keen to point out that they've made a number of charges in relation to stirring up of racial hatred online, one of which this morning was for distributing a recording that could, intending to stir up racial hatred. And so they are actually already bringing charges in relation to this sort of thing. So it's a very, very clear message based in the harsh reality, if you like, that if you do this kind of thing, you are potentially committing a criminal offence. There he said it. They've got teams of people scouring the internet looking for this sort of thing. And if you are in the business of sharing or retweeting, whatever platform it might be, potentially criminal material, well, then you could find yourself prosecuted.
Just absolutely incredible what we're hearing here, ladies and gentlemen. What if I slip my phone in my pocket, and it happens all the time. You know, you make pocket dials, you might put your phone in your pocket, and then you hear some voice, and you look down and you're on the phone to someone. How did that happen, you say? Oh, I must have pocket dialed. Well, I must have pocket retweeted this retweet that can't be shared. It seems so strange to me that this has been openly said in the media. Oh, we're just going to clamp down on people that are retweeting things. What a joke. We are in dystopia, ladies and gentlemen. Derek Hart says, hi, good evening. Good evening. Jim Deary, what happened in Liverpool when police walked the anti, or what they call themselves towards the British period? Let's look. Let's just look at what's happened. This was the biggest one of the day. I feel, honestly, this is absolutely insane by a factor of 10. Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. You tell me in the comments what you think about this. This guy is a Labour councillor, mind you.
They hurt. We've got children and women using those trains, destroying some relatives. They are disgusting, nasty bastards, and we need to cut all their throats and get rid of them all.
Cut all their throats and get rid of them all. Cut all their throats and get rid of them all. Labour councillor, let's hear it again.
They hurt. We've got children and women using those trains, destroying some relatives. They are disgusting, nasty bastards, and we need to cut all their throats and get rid of them all.
Oh, there's Amnesty International at the background. Oh, yes, great speech. Great speech, sir. Great speech. I think we should indeed cut all their throats. Are you listening to this, ladies and gentlemen? This guy should be in jail by the end of the day.
They hurt. We've got children and women using those trains, destroying some relatives. They are disgusting, nasty bastards, and we need to cut all their throats and get rid of them all.
If I said this about Pakistanis, if I said this about black people, if I said this about Chinese, if I said this about any other group of people whatsoever, I would be imprisoned ad nauseum. I'd be imprisoned like that. The police would be knocking at the door already. Labour councillor, guys. How many more people in Labour that are obviously are they Labour candidates or are they Muslim candidates? Is there a Muslim Labour can we make that distinction? Is Islam more important to these people than Labour Party? I believe, of course it is to them, surely. Let's hear it just one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Just once, Mayor. Just once.
They hurt. We've got children and women using those trains, destroying the summer holidays. They are disgusting, nasty bastards, and we need to cut all their throats and get rid of them all. I just want to say thank you all. I'm going to leave it now. And breathe.
It's honestly, it's like the banality of evil here. That's the phrase, the banality of evil. Where this guy, he's just standing with a microphone. Yes, I think we should cut all their throats and get rid of them all. The guy's looking around. Is anybody clapping yet? Is anybody clapping yet? Yes, they are. Yes, they are, ladies and gentlemen. Amnesty International. Right there. What is going on? What is going on? We've got some comments coming in. We're going to spend a lot of... If you've got comments, get them in. I'll get them on the show if they're decent comments. Nick knows. Exactly. Starmer's dug himself a hole unless the man is jailed. Absolutely. Do you think he'll get a fast-track sentence like the gammon? Absolutely not, Nick. In fact, just like your name says, no chance. Not a chance. Not a chance. Not a snowball's chance in hell. Well, he didn't mince his words. No need for a translation. Absolutely not. Has Hamza left the country yet? We're going to attack Hamza later on. As if he needs to be attacked. Come on. But we're doing it anyway. White Brits are now second-class citizens now. And I think this... Bob, you've hit the nail on the head, right? But it's not just white British people. It's white people across the entire Western world. They're being told, you're evil. You're going to be replaced. Your children are going to have no opportunities. Your land is going to be taken, and there's nothing you're going to do about it. In fact, the white race is evil. We're educating the entire education system that white people are bad. It's inherited sin. And we're teaching all the immigrants that arrive here the exact same thing. Recipe for disaster. Anyway, don't need to stand. Don't stand near the window when you talk about Hamza. So, Honey Monster, I will be exclusively frequenting bungalows from now on. I won't be going near any high-rise buildings. I don't want to be chucked out a window. So we're going to be bungalows only, just in case Hamza's got his brother-in-law on the case. Just in case his brother-in-law is on the case. So, here we go, right? Again, why are they coming down and protecting these hotels so much? These migrant hotels. Because this seems to be the subject of Keir Starmer's ire. How dare they attack a migrant hotel? How dare they? How absolutely dare they? Well, is it because these hotels, this company that's putting the migrants in the hotels, that's providing the security for the hotels, it's a huge, massive business, ladies and gentlemen. It's a massive business in the tune of billions. It's not small fries. Is that why he's protecting the hotels? Because he's protecting business interests here? Or is he protecting the interests of the people first? Or is he protecting business interests? Right, so let's look at some of the more riots. Wednesday night. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, it's just a massive game of hide and seek with the far right. And where are the far right? They're nowhere to be seen. Oh, where are they? Is it a boogeyman that's just been created to get these people out on the streets? Is it? I mean, how come one mob's being policed like they're the worst people, worst evil people on the planet, and these people, they're not even being policed? Let's look at more. Look at Sky News.
Community leaders have been speaking to the police as well because...
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Fuck India!
But I think, apologies for the language you're hearing, but a sense of the anger, I think you can hear there.
Yeah, Katie, I think Becky, I apologise. We need to leave you there, and Becky...
Apologies. We need to leave you there in that terrible situation that we've put you in. We're going to have to leave you there, okay? I'm sorry, pal. I'm sorry. I don't care if you get stabbed. We're going to have to leave you there. We can't have these scenes on our news network. And again, later on, that Sky crew got their tyres in a van slashed. But the far right are so bad. The far right are so bad, ladies and gentlemen. So very bad. Oh, no. Let's look at some more. Well, we play some clips, right? We'll play a game. In fact, we'll play a proper game next week. But the game is it the UK or is it Bangladesh? Is it the UK or is it Bangladesh?
Yeah, don't worry.
Is it the UK or is it Bangladesh? Oh, the terrible far right. Oh, the far right. Oh, dear God. The far right. Oh, no. This far right is absolutely... They're just the worst, guys. They're just the absolute worst. Loads of comments coming in. Loads of comments coming in. Let's play another one. Is it the UK or is it Bangladesh?
Throwing stones at us, mate, and not even getting done shit to them. I said we go and get some fucking arms, mate.
Honestly, I mean, it's beggars belief. Is it the UK or is it Bangladesh?
Look, the bus they're joining in as well, they get men. Even the bus they're joining in, lad. Man's on the bus. We're taking over UK now.
They're taking over the UK. I don't think so. Well, I mean, it's not the UK anymore. Is it the UK or is it Bangladesh?
Yeah, don't worry.
Oh, we've got some more. We've got some more. Oh, it's not just confined to knives, swords, axes. It's not confined to that.
EDL, we're coming to fucking blow you away, you motherfuckers.
Apologies for the language there. Apologies for the language. There's so many comments coming in. I'm going to have to get the producer to put them up. I've got so much comments coming in. Thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, for 1, commenting, 2, viewing, and 3, just sticking with me. Right. Let's see. Let's have more. Is it the UK or is it Bangladesh? I mean, the police, hello. There's a lot of people there that could probably use arresting. Hello. No, the guy's fleeing for his life. Honestly, we've seen them all, says Mark. Yes, we have. Right. So let's now talk about the two-tier aspect to this, right? In fact, let's go back a bit, right? Let's go back a bit.
Yeah, don't worry.
Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar. The phrase most commonly associated with terrorism, being used on our streets as a provocative measure, I would say. At best, provocative. At worst, it's terrorism itself, I would say. Because if you're at the airport, put yourself in a position, you're standing in the airport, busy airport. Somebody shouts, Allah Akbar. What's the reaction in the airport going to be? Tell me in the comments, what's the reaction in the airport going to be? Is it going to be, is people just going to go, oh, somebody's shouting behind me. Oh. Or is it going to be widespread panic? I know what I think. The Muslims know what they're doing when they say it. We know what they're doing when they say it. And that phrase is being used as a weapon, ladies and gentlemen. That phrase is being used as a weapon. Loads more comments coming in. There he is. That's the comment we're looking for. Mito. If you don't know the story, there was a guy a long time ago called John Smeaton. I think he worked at Glasgow Prestwick. Some guy tried to set up a bomb. So it was a car bomb, and he tried to run into the airport on fire. And John Smeaton punched him and kicked him in the balls, stopping the terror attack. That's the way. I mean, that was just the most Scottish story we'd heard. I mean, in the midst of at that period in time as well, there was a huge threat of Islamic terror. And then we've got this, Scotland gets this comedy article, this comedy news story where, oh yeah, Islamic terror doesn't work in Scotland when we've got John Smeaton's. Get down there and defend England, Niall. Well, I might just have to do that, Mark. Oh, righty-ho. Right, let's look at it. I mean, we all know that this phrase has been used as a weapon here. This Allah Akbar. They know what they're doing when they're saying it. We know what we're doing when we're hearing it. And for a lot of people, actually, Allah Akbar would have been the last words that a lot of people heard before they were either burned, bombed, stabbed to death. I mean, Bob's right. It's just a call to prayer. Oh, and it's also what they say before they set bombs off. also. It just so happens to be. Right. And then somebody mentioned Hamza earlier on. Oh, he's going to have to flee the West. Oh, let's check in on our pal Hamza Yusuf.
What has the last week felt like?
It's felt utterly horrendous. It is a strange feeling, John, when your very sense of belonging is questioned. Look, as you've said in the introduction, I'm about as Scottish as they come. Born in Scotland.
Hey, so hold on a minute, Hamza. Hold on a minute. He calls himself Pakistani Scottish or like Scottish Pakistani. Doesn't he call himself Scottish? Does not call himself Scottish. He always identifies as Scottish Pakistani or Pakistani Scottish or some combination of the two. But when it suits him, he's Scottish.
What has the last week felt like?
It's felt utterly horrendous. It is a strange feeling, John, when your very sense of belonging is questioned. Look, as you've said in the introduction, I'm about as Scottish as they come. Born in Scotland, raised in Scotland, educated in Scotland. Just welcomed my third child here.
Let's stop this again. Let's stop this again. Because I actually can't believe what's the words that are coming out this guy's mouth. More comments are coming out. Flooded with comments tonight. But let's just talk about Hamza, right? He's as Scottish as they come. I was born here. I was raised here. I was educated here. He was educated privately at Hutchison Grammar School. How many folk do you know went to private school? For me, it's none. For me, it's zero. He's not as Scottish as they come. Not in the slightest.
What has the last week felt like?
It's felt utterly horrendous. It is a strange feeling, John, when your very sense of belonging is questioned. Look, as you've said in the introduction, I'm about as Scottish as they come. Born in Scotland, raised in Scotland, educated in Scotland. Just welcomed my third child here in Scotland. Was a leader of the Scottish government for just over a year. Leader of the Scottish National Party. You cut me open and I'm about as Scottish as you come. But the truth of the matter is, I don't know whether the future for me and my wife and my 3 children is going to be here in Scotland or the United Kingdom or indeed in Europe and the West, because I have for some time really worried about the rise of Islamophobia. I wrote a column about it actually just about a month ago, the rise of the far right driven by Islamophobia in Europe, UK and the West. And we are now seeing the culmination of, not years actually, decades of anti-migrant, anti-Muslim rhetoric being normalised in the political discourse, now playing out in the most horrendous, violent way possible. And that genuinely makes me question whether or not my family has an existence here in the UK or not. And by the way, I'm not the only one. I've had hundreds of messages from the Muslim community saying the exact same thing.
Total claptrap, total nonsense, absolute bogus, Hamza. Bogus. I hope you're listening to it. I hope you've got one of your wee creatures listening in for you. Bogus. Absolutely bogus. I mean, honestly, this guy, what's he saying? Oh, the anti-migrant rhetoric has been whipped up over decades, he's saying. Decades, no. How about they've just been bringing in migrants left, right and centre for decades, and it only at this point, only after 10, 15 mass stabbings, only after all these terror attacks that we finally said, hold on a minute, what's been going on? Has he no flitted yet, Craig Houston asked. No, he hasn't, but I'm hoping it's very soon. I'm hoping it is very soon. Honestly, I think we should just crank this Islamophobia up just enough to get Hamza away. We turn the dial down a bit, just to get him out the door. Got loads and loads comments coming in, absolutely loads. Fantastic, we'll get them up. So this is what's happening with Hamza. What a total creature! He always pops up when we need someone to talk about Islamophobia. You know, the whole reason. Do you ever wonder why we put LGBT politicians in office? Do you ever wonder why we put Muslim Muslim people in office? Do you ever like people of color? You know, there's this air of the fact, like, not like they're not able to be criticised. This is the thing. This is why they're there. They're there to minimise all criticism of their party, of their government, of their running of things. They put people up there that are seen to be uncriticisable. You know, the LGBTQs of the world, the Muslims of the world, the people of colour, because they're seen as you can't be saying that about a woman. That's misogyny. I know you're running the country into the ground and everything, but you can't say that about a woman. That's just blatant misogyny. This is why they're there in the first place, so they can then play that card at any opportunity. Right. What else has been happening with the tale of two riots? This is what it should be. The tale of two riots, the Two-Tier-Keir. And we've got proof of this coming from Talk TV today.
As I believe, an ex-policeman yourself.
I've experienced two-tier policing. There was riots in Hanford years ago, and then they re-escalated around 2009, 2010. But because of the racial tensions, we were made as police officers to stand in like normal street uniform, with no protective clothing, just round shields. We had people walking past us with baseball bats and machetes, tapping on the shields, and we had to stand there and do nothing. Yet the next weekend you'd be at a football match, and no holds barred. And it was like that.
So we'll watch that again, right? But what I want to tell you first, if you know any police officers, if you've got some in the family, if you some of your friends, police officers absolutely love getting the riot gear out. You know, one day it's like you're at school and all of a sudden there's a school trip. Oh, we're going on a trip today. We're at work filling out paperwork. Paperwork. Endless amounts. Oh, get your riot gear on, guys. We're going on a jolly. They love getting the riot gear on. They absolutely love it. So with that in mind, listen to this.
As I believe, an ex-policeman yourself.
I've experienced two-tier policing. There was riots in Hanford years ago, and then they re-escalated around 2009, 2010. But because of the racial tensions, we were made as police officers to stand in like normal street uniform, with no protective clothing, just round shields. We had people walking past us with baseball bats and machetes, tapping on the shields, and we had to stand there and do nothing. Yet the next weekend you'd be at a football match, and no holds barred. And it was like that all the time. It was based in Small Heath in Birmingham, right by the Green Lake Mosque. And you're always told to treat one side of the community one way, and the other side completely differently.
So you are an ex-police officer saying this on a national radio station in a clip that could well go very viral online, by the way. And you are saying that you stood there without proper defensive equipment and were made to do nothing as men walked past armed from a particular community. And then the next thing you were going to police football matches, football hooliganism with a different approach.
In full code 2 riot gear. And it's been like that for years.
And this was an operational instruction from your seniors?
Yes. It was like that weekly.
Yeah, I know. Well, Philip and I are just sitting here with our jaws on the floor. John, I've got to take an advert break soon, but look, stay in touch with my production.
Look, I don't think your jaw should be on the floor. I think, the reason their jaws are on the floor is that some guys actually telling them like it is. We all know that the police have been told to stand in. We've seen the videos. We've seen the videos of a guy saying, "Oh, can you please return all your weapons to the mosque? Please deposit your weapons at the mosque. How about you, lifted? You've got a knife. How about you, lifted, machete, illegal, deadly weapon, carries a maximum jail sentence of 4 years in jail. 4 years in jail is the maximum sentence with a knife. 4 years in jail. Hold on a minute. Have I just missed all these videos of machetes, of axes, of swords, of AK-47s? Have I just missed that? I mean, am I going crazy here? No, I've no missed it. No, I have seen the videos of the police telling them, take your weapons back to the mosque. Is that where they're getting the weapons in the first place? Is that where they're storing all their weapons? I was watching Richard Lucas last night. He said, how come, do you have a machete in the house? Ladies and gentlemen, that's the comment. Have you got a weapon in the house right now, ready to go? Have you got a machete, a baseball bat, a huge big sword? Just ready? Do you? How come all these people have weapons readily available? How is it? Why is it? Why is it? And even if they've not got weapons, guys, there's always... Even if they've not got weapons, they've always got planks of wood. Is it Bangladesh or is it the UK? Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Bangladesh or the UK?
There's all peaceful giving speeches and then
What percentage of these people are carrying knives? Let's look at the comments. I bet there is a lot of coppers who question what they're doing, but got bills to pay, but time is not on their side. Jim, I could not agree with you any more. And there will come a time, I believe, in the near future, where the money doesn't matter. They've crushed their economy so very much that they're going to have to bring in a new currency in order to compete. They're going to have to. 50k on the terror watch list. A significant amount of these people will be out in the streets for anti-racist marches. Yeah, hooray, director, hooray! This, I mean, why did we empty all the jails in the first place? Is it because they were going to instigate riots and then come down on one side as hard as they possibly can? As hard as they possibly can. And bear in mind, it's the same police force that if you phone up and say, I've just been burgled. My windows have been smashed and put in. And they've stole all my stuff. They'd laugh at you on the phone. They would laugh at you on the phone. They don't investigate burglaries. They don't get solved. Nobody gives a crap about a burglary anymore. This is in the policing situation. But if I phone up now, I've heard some really bad. I've been looking at Twitter and I've seen some really hateful comments. Really hateful comments. Let's look at this again. You can be prosecuted for posting material online which incites violence or hatred. You can also be prosecuted for sharing this material. Your online actions can have consequences. Think before you post. Big Brother's watching, ladies and gentlemen. Big Brother is watching. Really, really bad. Really bad. Right, so we've had the two-tier policing comment from an ex-police officer himself. Let's look at this one.
Such a low-key, shall we say, police presence. Because, I mean, clearly your officers were there, but they were not visible, and yet there were an awful lot of people out and an awful lot of people who were armed with various weapons.
So we have really strong business and community relations, and because we were aware through intelligence that there was a potential protest through that misinformation yesterday, we had the opportunity to meet with community leaders, with business leaders prior to that event to kind of understand the style of policing that we needed to deliver during the course of that operation. So we knew that there was going to be a large amount of people out on that counter-protest. We knew who the vast majority of those people were. We'd had conversations in terms of what that was likely to look like. And so our policing response was commensurate to that intelligence and the information that we'd held with our partners and communities prior to that event taking place.
Even given there were so many of them clearly armed, I mean, would you do the same if it was an EDL type situation?
So we've policed in response to the intelligence that we received at that moment in time. What I would say is that the vast majority of people that attended that protest yesterday did so law-abidingly, and they did it with the right intentions. There were just a small minority of people that attended there and were intent on causing either criminality, disorder or fear within our communities. What we saw was a response from our communities where they were trying to kind of make sure that that was policed within themselves as well, and trying to deter people from taking part in that disorder. And as a result, we've been able to go on, gather that evidence, gather that information. We have made arrests. Well, we've made an arrest this afternoon. We continue to try and make arrests in terms of those people that were involved in those disorders yesterday.
Right, so I mean, I've just so many problems with this. So many problems with this that it's ridiculous. So first of all, I mean, the people on the streets that are clearly armed with knives and swords, clearly armed. Oh, well, there was misinformation put out on social media about far right. And, you know, this is a response by the community. So what, we're encouraging vigilantism now? Is that what the police guys said? That they want to police the community themselves? Is that what he's saying? That's exactly what he's saying. And again, it's all just this mythical far right. This it's hiding under every rock. It's under every rock you lift up. It's there. Every cupboard you look in, it's there. But it's behind every door. The far right. It's behind every door. It's in every packet of crisps. It's in your cornflakes in the morning. It's in your coffee. You can see it in the sky. It's in the clouds. The far right. Nonsense. This guy, this chief of police, what is going on? He's lost complete control of whatever area that this guy's...
It's such a low-key, should we say, police presence. Because, I mean, clearly your officers were there. Birmingham is absolutely lawless. Absolutely lawless. Because if you say, oh, there's going to be a far-right protest here, why is it that they allow the Muslim community to arm themselves and sort of enact this vigilantism, which it's not even vigilantism. It's again, they're egging for a fight. They're dying for a fight. They're armed every night. Bangladesh or the UK? What group? What are these groups? Is it the EDL that strike fear into you, or is it these guys? Is it the EDL that strikes fear into you, or is it these guys?
Community leaders have been speaking to the police as well because...
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Fuck India!
But I think, apologies for the language you're hearing, but a sense of the anger, I think you can hear there.
Yeah, Katie, I think Becky, I apologise.
Is it the EDL that you're afraid of, or is it these guys? Is it the EDL you're afraid of, or is it these guys? Any one of these situations that I've just showed you could have resulted in somebody dying.
Live, yeah? Can you come and bring me a charger because you're the closest one? And a battery power.
Is it the UK or is it Bangladesh?
Live, yeah? Can you come and bring me a charger because you're the closest one? And a battery battery power. Oh my God, they're gonna knock they're hitting somebody, they're smashing up people's cars. Oh God. I'm not going over, guys. I'm not.
The ADL, that's the problem, or is it a group of Muslim guys stopping cars on the street that are going to cause mass death? Look at this. If this car was under attack, if you put yourself in the guy's shoes, where he's in the car, you've got a group of hundreds of people just try to smash your car and pull you out and kill you. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to drive off.
Oh my God, they're gonna knock they're hitting somebody, they're smashing up people's cars. Oh God. I'm not going over, guys.
Is it the UK or is it Bangladesh? You tell me. Well, lots of comments coming in. Lots of comments. We've got a hater in the chat as well, guys. We've got a hater in the chat. Oh no, oh, there he is. You better be careful, Niall. You better be careful, Niall. Better be careful what you're talking about, Niall. Aye, whatever, Mark. Go back to the hole you came from. Hey, I think you understand now. Sure, you understood before you even arrived at my broadcast that this was two-tier policing. You understood that from the get-go. As soon as you've seen groups of Muslims brandishing. I mean, it's one thing to have a knife. It's a separate crime if you're brandishing a knife. If you're brandishing a weapon, if you're waving a gun around, if you're waving a knife around, if you're openly if you're unsheathing your sword like some samurai from a bygone era, you're brandishing a weapon. Two-tier policing. We've got two-tier justice system, but what is the split in the tiers, guys? Well, the monologue put it right at the start, guys. It's no an EDL, it's not a far right divide and a Muslim divide. It's none of that. It's not a far right and a we love the immigrants divide. It's a anti-white police force and a pro-Muslim police force. That's the true two tiers. That's the tiers you've got. One is absolutely chock-a-block anti-white. And the other one, listen, let's just watch again. Bear that in mind. And let's listen to Talk TV one again. We've got two tiers, ladies and gentlemen. Anti-white and then pro-non-whites.
As I believe, an ex-policeman yourself.
I've experienced two-tier policing. There was riots in Hanford years ago, and then they re-escalated around 2009, 2010. But because of the racial tensions, we were made as police officers to stand in like normal street uniform with no protective clothing, just round shields. We had people walking past us with baseball bats and machetes tapping on the shields, and we had to stand there and do nothing. Yet the next weekend you'd be at a football match and no holds barred. And it was like that all the time. It was based in Small Heath in Birmingham, right by the Green Lake Mosque. And you're always told to treat one side of the community one way and the other side completely differently.
So you are an ex-police officer saying this on a national radio station in a clip that could well go very viral online, by the way. And you are saying that you stood there without proper defensive equipment and were made to do nothing as men walked past armed from a particular community. Correct. And then the next thing you were going to police football matches, football hooliganism with a different approach.
In full code 2 riot gear. And it's been like that for years.
And this was an operational instruction from your seniors?
Yes. It was like that weekly.
Yeah, I know. Well,
Exactly. Jaw is on the floor because he can't believe somebody's just so blatantly come out and said it like this. But the comment of the day thus far: Little Miss Southside, they're dying for a fight to justify digital ID. Starmer's plan. Well, I'm going to enhance your comment. I'm not going to tarnish your comment. I'm going to enhance it. I don't think it's no Starmer's plan. It's Tony Blair and Klaus Schwab's plan. It's the World Economic Forum, the UN. It's the globalists' plan to bring in the fourth industrial revolution, the Great Reset. We need digital ID. We need you to have a passport, to have a social media account. And you better watch what you post online and share, because if you're inciting hatred or violence, you might be jailed. Right, we're going to move topics, okay? Although keep the comments coming on the Two-Tier-Keir. Tell us about adrenochrome, he says. You know exactly what it is, Mark. You know exactly what it is. Right, okay, the Scottish riots. Oh, what Scottish riots, he's saying? What Scottish riots? We've not had any yet. Well, I believe, ladies and gentlemen, and you're hearing it from me today, that they're going to try and orchestrate a riot or a disturbance or violence at the event that I'm speaking at on the 7th of September in George Square. I reckon they're going to try and orchestrate some sort of riot, attack. They're going to be egging people on. I've heard it at least twice or three times. I've heard it on Clyde one as I'm driving through to Glasgow. And they're talking about, the rally on the 7th. As if, you know, people are so politically engaged. People are so politically engaged that they must know where all the rallies are going to be. No, in fact, everyone is probably politically disengaged. But they're telling you, they're engaging you. They're engaging you. And who else is engaging you? All these crap journalists, useless journalists, waste of space journalists like Neil Mackay. Run these far-right bastards out of Scotland. Oh, we need to run these far-right bastards because we don't want immigrants knifing people to death, because we don't want our child's opportunities robbed for them, because we want to live in harmony and peace, Neil. Run these far-right bastards out of Scotland. Don't let the far-right divide us. Don't let the far-right divide us. Hold on a minute. You're being played, Neil. And you're smart enough to know that. You're being played. Refugees welcome. Nae Nazis in Glasgow. There's nae Nazis already. Already. I'm being branded a Nazi. Already. Before we've even kicked the ball, the assumption's going to be made, thanks to this clown, thanks to this useless piece of crap, Neil Mackay, the assumption's going to be made that everyone on that speaker slot, everyone at that rally is a Nazi. There's no Nazis welcome in Glasgow, he says. No Nazis welcome in Glasgow. Talk about incitement. Talk about inciting violence and hatred. Oh, it only flows one way, ladies and gentlemen. It only flows one way, and that is towards us, towards the white indigenous folk. Always flows one way, never the other way. It's outrageous that this is here. It's again. I mean, how many protests do I have to go to that's getting counter-protested? Honestly, it's ridiculous at this point. It's ridiculous. I guarantee that cabaret for bloody hate speech is there. Useless craps. Honest, I'm so annoyed at this. This is tantamount. the thing is, Neil. The thing is, Neil Mackay. Neil fucking Mackay. I would have brought my son along to this. That's what I would have done. But people make Glasgow, Neil. People make Glasgow. No, people like you are making Glasgow dangerous. That's what's happening. I would have brought my son along. But you're whipping people up into fear. You're whipping people up and saying we're Nazis. So they won't think twice about throwing an egg, about throwing a brick, about throwing anything at me or my son when we're on stage. Would you condemn it then, Neil? Probably not. It's absolutely ridiculous. Neil Mackay's blocked a Force for Goodness front page pic of a Force for Good led to his Sunday Herald going into business. Oh, unlucky, Neil. Unlucky. Is it because you're a crap journalist? Is it because you're a journalist with an agenda? I mean, this honestly, it typifies these like what's wrong. Watch what we say online, guys. Watch what we say online. You can be prosecuted for posting material online which incites violence or hatred. You can also be prosecuted for sharing the material. Okay, thanks for that, Crown Office. What about Neil? What does Neil Mackay face here? What does he face? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. He'll just call us all Nazis. What do you think about that, ladies and gentlemen? There's people in the chat. There's people in the chat tonight that will be speaking at that, I'm sure. There'll be people watching this tonight that'll be speaking, I'm sure. Do you think they want to be branded a Nazi? Do you think this is going to help discourse? Are they trying to get us killed? You know, they've been, and we've got John Swinney again. John Swinney, the day he's like, the rise in the far right, we're desperate. He's at meetings. He's at meetings with top police officers in order how to quell the far right before they even kick a ball. Hold on a minute. Hold on just a moment. I just so very, very, very annoyed. And it's all coming for this guy.
First Minister, how many genders are there?
Well, I think there'll be quite a debate about that.
The guy's a genius. The guy's a genius. Genius confirmed. It's all coming for this guy. John Swinney couldn't run a bath. Let's look at what's Hamza saying. I don't know if my kids are safe in the UK. This is actually in the paper, I think. We've not even went through the papers, ladies and gentlemen. How dare I? How dare I? This will be in one of the papers I've got. Right, sorry, I've sat back. I'll scooch forward. And by the way, can I just say, I only bought The Guardian for the headline, right? But £3 for The Guardian. What an absolute rip-off. What a rip-off. They're the worst paper on the planet. The worst publicist, the worst public, whatever they call themselves. They're absolutely useless. I remember way back when I was a young political eagle, I phoned up LBC. Remember when LBC used to be good? I phoned up LBC, and the question was, at the time there was loads of massive layoffs across all the news outlets in America. And I phoned up, and it was some total hoity-toity guy at The Guardian. And, I phoned up and said, are you not concerned about the level of layoffs in the news outlets in the US? Is that foreshadowing something to come over here, perhaps? And we at The Guardian do not have to worry about layoffs in the news, for we are a trust. We don't need to make money with our papers. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, no, no. We don't need to make money. We are the propagandists. Thousands take to the streets to counter the threat from the far right that never happened. And look at the images they're using. Look at the images they're using. I think we've got a clip of we had a clip of it was all the signs. I mean, who's paying for all this? See all these signs you see at the front? Who's paying for all that? Somebody's paying for it. Somebody's paying for it. So one side of these riots is paid for. That seems fair. Anyway, we're not going to read The Guardian because it's an absolute waste of time. We will not be doing that. Let's look at the Scottish Daily Express. Police chiefs plot a robust action on Scots riot thugs. Who's the riot thugs? Hold on a minute. There has to been a riot in Scotland. Who's the riot thugs? Oh, I suppose that's me and the rest of the folk that are speaking at the rally. I suppose that's me. Where's this? Where's the picture of what's his name? Neil Mackay. Where did he go? We seem to have lost that. But Neil Mackay. Nazis are no welcome. They're not welcome. Right, so let's have a wee read of this. Police Scotland have robust measures. Robust. This was Nicola Sturgeon's favourite word on the planet. Robust. Police Scotland, the most robust force on the planet. Policius Alba. Police Scotland have robust measures in place to deal with any threat of civil disorder in the country. The pledge came as fears of more than 100 fresh disturbances south of the border. Where did that come from? Where did these 100 protests come from south of the border? Or was it this guy? Or was it the guy who runs Hope Not Hate? So what's happened is, it's like the Nancy Pelosi wrap-up smear, if you know that. If you know what I mean by that, you'll be having a laugh. But the wrap-up smear, you put out a fake news in the media, they then report it, and then you use the media report of that to capitalise. So they put out a rumour saying there's going to be hundreds, absolutely hundreds of fresh disturbances south of the border, but they failed to materialise. Oh, they failed to materialise. Oh, and Nick, oh, it was just a hoax. Oh, just a hoax. But look at the papers. There's an anti-racism message across them all. And that's what really matters. The ends justify the means. Nick knows. The ends justify the means. Right, so the pledge came as fears of more than 100 fresh disturbances south of the border failed to materialise in the wake of riots that erupted after the killing of 3 girls in Southport. Shocking scenes of violence over the past 11 days have seen dozens of police injured, hundreds of protesters arrested, shops have been looted, vehicles destroyed, properties set ablaze by thugs, egged on by far-right extremists. Can it be exclusively far-right extremists? Thank you very much. So far, the trouble has not spread to Scotland, but there have been repeated online rumours about rallies being staged here. Oh, there's online rumours. Oh, we've got an online rumour here. Oh, look at this online rumour, guys. It's an online rumour. Oh, no. It's just right there and open for everyone to see. It's not a rumour. We're having the rally. End of. And now that they have egged on people to come out in protest of us, we've had the Neil Mackays of the world. We've had the Neil Mackays of the world call us all Nazis. It just makes me want to go even more, ladies and gentlemen. And Neil Mackay, see if you're not there, what a waste of space you are. If Neil Mackay isn't there, what a waste of space this guy is. What a waste of oxygen. So far, the trouble has not spread to Scotland, but there have been repeated online rumours about rallies being staged here. Well, there will be a rally. Yesterday, this led to a meeting in Edinburgh of the leaders of major political parties, including the First Minister, John Banana Nutella Swinney, and the Chief Constable of Scotland, Joe Farrell, who's England and still lives in England. Again, brought in so you can't criticise her. Afterwards, details of what was discussed inside Bute House were revealed by the outgoing Scottish Tory leader, Douglas Ross. In a statement, he said, "This was a constructive meeting convened by the First Minister, allowing myself and other opposition party leaders to discuss the situation here in Scotland with the Chief Constable and other senior police officers in the wake of recent riots in other parts of the UK." Turn to page 4. Many communities across Scotland about the possibility of similar disturbing scenes occurring here. I was reassured by Police Scotland and continue to monitor any potential events north of the border, and that robust measures are put in place to keep people safe. There must be a zero tolerance approach towards this appalling behaviour, and that anyone responsible will meet the full force of the law. They love that now, don't they? They'll meet the full force of the law. Social media is playing a significant role in escalating these incidents. We all have a duty to call out misinformation as elected representatives to ensure our constituents feel safe where they live and work, Mr. Ross concluded. I will continue to liaise with the First Minister as well, senior police chiefs, and hopefully we can avoid the violence and destruction we have seen elsewhere. Unfounded rumours yesterday included one about a protest being staged in Glasgow's George Square. Although police quickly quelled the hearsay, the rumour stompers, a number of businesses and offices in the city centre did close, with staff sent home as a safety precaution. Police Scotland issued a statement about a claim saying, "We are aware of speculation over protests in Glasgow George Square today. There's no intelligence to suggest any is planned. Please be wary that what you read on social media and avoid speculation and sharing information which may be inaccurate." Assistant Chief Constable Gary Ritchie said, "We are providing a reassurance to communities across the country through enhanced patrols and direct engagement. We will continue to monitor any incident, ensure any potential for violence or disorder is identified quickly and responded to immediately." Well, what's his Assistant Chief Constable Gary Ritchie? Assistant Chief Constable Gary Ritchie. Oh, well, will you monitor and ensure any potential violence or disorder is identified quickly? Oh, well, what the hell is this then, Neil? And there was another quote as well. I think it was that Riddoch saying we need a Ken Muir Street type response to the Nazis in Glasgow. The pure Nazis. It is honestly, they are dying for us to get attacked. They want it. They absolutely want it, guys. They want it. Not the last paper, but one of them. Far-right rioters face a football ban as ministers bid to curb unrest. Because every person that protests, every far-right rioter loves the football. What a shite. Honestly, you couldn't stereotype people any worse. You couldn't. You actually couldn't do it. Right, so we did pick up a few other papers. That one's for Tuesday, this one's for the day. Trojan horse plan to split the Scottish Tories. Now, pay no attention to this story, ladies and gentlemen. Pay no attention to this story. You know what? You know why? Nobody cares about the Scottish Tory leadership election, guys. Nobody cares. They're done. They're finished. Their funding's dried up. They're done. I mean, this story is attempting to give them some media attention. Oh, please come support us again. Oh, look, we're having a leadership election. Oh, we're moving the chairs about. Oh, nobody cares. They're dead. Nobody cares. Oh, Scottish Tory leadership challenger Murdo Fraser has been accused of plotting a Trojan horse campaign. Oh, it sounds exciting. Trojan horse and the Tories. It sounds exciting, but it's actually, in actuality, it's the most unexciting thing ever. And it's it's totally futile. I don't care. I don't care if they were to resurrect Thatcher and get her elected in Scottish Tories. It wouldn't matter a jot. It wouldn't matter a jot. But there is a one wee side in the column. Look, sorry. Anti-hate marchers face down the fags. Thousands of protesters took to the streets across the country last night to stare down, feared far-right rioters. Far-right rioters. Feared far-right rioters. They're really, really banging the drum. Do you not feel that? Do you feel the banging in the deep? It's when one of the hobbits drop. I think it's a suit of armour down the well when they're in the Mines of Moria. The banging of the drums. They're banging the drums. They want civil unrest. The media wants civil unrest. The media are fanning the flames. They're like a bellows at this point. They're fanning the flames of civil unrest. They really are. I think I did pick up some of the stories. I apologise. That's the papers done with. What else is on the agenda? So that's just covered basically everything. Everything that I wanted to cover anyway. We've got it again. We're going to talk about briefly this rally on the 7th. This rally on the 7th, it was family friendly. It was child friendly. And yet, this will remain a peaceful protest. Slated as peaceful. We had old age pensioners said they were going to come. We had children said there would be maybe potentially children in the crowd. But no. We need to run these far-right bastards out of Scotland, says Neil Mackay. Don't let the far right divide us. Don't let them divide us. Can you not make your own mind up? Absolutely not. But the whole point is, media, politicians, commentators, they are purposely raising the temperature in Scotland. They're purposely doing it. And I tell you why. Because they want something to happen at this rally. And you'll hear it here first. You'll hear it here first. If I get attacked at that rally, it's down to them. If someone else gets attacked at this rally, it's down to them. It's down to the rhetoric of people like Neil Mackay. It's down to the rhetoric of people like John Swinney. It's down to the rhetoric of people like Humza Useless. Look at that picture in the top right. Why does it look like Angela Constance has just trekked across a desert and her camel's been tied up at the door? Why does it look like she's dressed up like she's just crossed a desert? Why is this? What's going on? This guy, he just at any point, I mean, Hamza's whole family, even going back to his dad, they were into, these spurious racist lawsuits. And, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, ladies and gentlemen. The apple does not fall far from the tree at all. Some good comments coming in. I see Houston's on the old buzz of the day. If you get attacked, it'll be gingerism. I can't claim any of that. Maybe I should do blackface, and then I can claim it's that. Wesley, ridiculous, not even Scottish. I don't know who these people are, Bob. I don't know who these people are. but they're certainly ratcheting up the temperature here in Scotland. And for people like me, it's very, very unwanted. As I said to you guys earlier on, I would have loved nothing more than to bring my son along and show him to the world, show him to Glasgow, and everyone could see how beautiful he is. But no, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because I've heard it on the radio, I've heard it, I've read it in the papers, I've heard it on the videos, I've seen it on Twitter, I've seen it elsewhere, I've seen it on STV. It's all about the far right. It's all about the big bad far right, and they're going to be here on the 7th of September, and you better be there to protest against them. Because after all, guys, they're all Nazis. Nay Nazis welcome. It's just jaw-dropping. It really is. Right, guys, well, it's been quite a short one tonight. I can't thank you enough for the amount of comments. We're absolutely buzzing with comments, even if they are for diddies like Mark. Even if they are diddies like Mark, I love the comments. It creates a good show. It creates an interesting show. Not being called far right yet today, must not be posting enough truths. I mean, you're slacking, Houston, honestly. You used to be so good. You would be instantly labelled far right, and now I think you're a centrist. That's what I think you're a fence sitter. Right, well, let's play a couple more clips of, is it the UK or is it Bangladesh as we're leaving? Is it the UK or is it Bangladesh?
Look, even the buses are joining in as well again, man. Even the buses are joining in, lad. Man's on the buses. We're taking over UK now.
EDL, we're coming to fucking blow you away, you motherfuckers!
The UK or Bangladesh?
Yeah, don't worry.
One more for hilarity's sake. The UK or Bangladesh? I mean, that looks suspiciously close to a stoning, doesn't it? You import the third world and you become the third world. You import the third world and you end up getting hit by a plank of wood right in the napper. Loads of comments. An extreme centralist. An extreme centrist. Oh, yes. Oh, you've got a wee bit of patter there, Tuesday. Right. It's been a spirited show. We're going to end about half an hour early tonight. Well, I've not really got a time frame on this. I'm just going to go until I feel like we've covered everything. But I think that's the stories of the week. We've got this huge, massive threat, or this threat of far right activity and violence right across the UK. Doesn't transpire? Doesn't happen? And in fact, all we see is groups of Muslims out saying that they were there looking for the EDL, That's exactly what I am, Houston. That's exactly what I am. Right. Well, guys, thanks for the comments. Thanks for all the views. Almost 700 viewers. We're going to keep going with this Niall Fraser show. We'll keep going. We're only on 6. Hide and seek with the far right. But we're going to go all the way to thousands of them. Right, guys. It's that time again. I have to bid farewell. But bidding farewell, it comes with a bonus. And that bonus is the outro track. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me on the Niall Fraser Show. Thanks for all the beautiful comments. Thanks to all the viewers. And I'll see you again next week.